My brother stole my college fund. I waited 10 years for revenge. I-27F. Never thought I'd be writing this, but after everything that's happened, I need to get this off my chest. This is a story about betrayal, patience, and the sweetest revenge I never knew I needed. 10 years ago, I was 17 and about to start my freshman year at my dream school. My parents had died in a car accident when I was 14, and my older brother, Jake, then 22M, became my legal guardian. They'd left us each a modest inheritance, plus my college fund, about $85,000 that my parents had been saving since I was born. I remember the day I went to transfer the money for my first semester tuition. I was so excited, laptop open, ready to finally start the life my parents had planned for me. That's when I saw it. The account balance, $3,247.89. I thought it was a bank error. It had to be. I called them immediately, hands shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. The representative pulled up the records. 63 withdrawals over the past 8 months, all authorized by the cosigner on the account, Jake. When I confronted him, he didn't even have the decency to lie. He'd started a business venture with his buddies, some app development company that was going to change everything. He swore he'd pay me back double, triple even, once they got their first round of funding. He made me feel selfish for being upset, said our parents would have wanted him to pursue his dreams too, that I could take out loans like everyone else. I was 17, grief-stricken, alone, and I believed him when he said he'd make it right. Their app never launched. The company dissolved within 6 months. My college fund was just gone. I couldn't afford university. I enrolled in community college while working 2 jobs, waitressing during the day, overnight shifts at a warehouse. I watched my high school friends post pictures from campus, joining sororities, going to football games, living the life that should have been mine. Meanwhile, I was microwaving ramen at 2 a.m. in a basement apartment that smelled like mildew, trying to finish homework between shifts. Jake moved to California, got a decent job in tech, met a woman, never mentioned paying me back. We barely spoke. Family gatherings were awkward and rare. I swallowed my anger because what choice did I have? But here's the thing about rock bottom. It teaches you who you really are. I finished my associate degree, got a job at a small marketing firm, discovered I had a talent for digital strategy. I was angry, yes, but I channeled every ounce of that rage into proving I didn't need anyone. At 22, I started freelancing on the side. At 24, I launched my own digital marketing agency with a $5,000 loan and a laptop. And it took off. Turns out spite is an excellent motivator. I worked 16-hour days, landed major clients, hired a team. By 26, my agency was pulling in 7 figures annually. I bought a house, a nice car, paid off every penny of debt I'd accumulated. I'd built the life my parents dreamed for me, just took a different path. Last year, Jake reached out. His fiancée wanted to reconnect the family before their wedding. He'd seen my success on LinkedIn and suddenly remembered he had a sister. We started talking again, stiffly at first, then more regularly. He never apologized for the money, never even brought it up. But he'd comment on my Instagram posts, tell people proudly that his baby sister was a successful entrepreneur. It made my blood boil. 2 months ago, Jake asked me to invest in his new startup, the audacity. He sent me this whole pitch deck, projected returns, the works, said he'd learned from his past mistakes, and this was the one. He needed $100,000 from me to help secure additional funding. I told him I'd think about it. Instead, I hired a forensic accountant and a lawyer. Here's what I learned. When Jake withdrew my college fund, he'd forged several documents claiming the money was for my educational expenses and living costs during high school. But the timing of the withdrawals coincided exactly with his failed business ventures funding rounds. My lawyer found Facebook posts, Venmo transactions, everything showing where that money really went. More importantly, the account had been set up as an irrevocable educational trust. Jake, as trustee after our parents died, had a legal fiduciary duty to use that money only for my education. What he did wasn't just betrayal, it was embezzlement. The statute of limitations hadn't run out because I'd only just discovered the full extent of the fraud. I pressed charges. Jake called me crying, said I was ruining his life over ancient history. His fiancée called me vindictive, told me I was successful now, so what did it matter? Why couldn't I just let it go? But here's what they didn't understand. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about 17-year-old me, sitting in that basement apartment, eating cereal for dinner because I couldn't afford anything else. It was about every time I had to drop a class because I couldn't afford textbooks. Every scholarship application I stayed up until 3 a.m. writing. Every moment I felt worthless because my own brother valued a failed app more than my future. The legal process took 8 months. Last week it concluded. Jake was ordered to pay full restitution, $85,000 plus 10 years of interest and penalties, totaling about $170,000. He also got 18 months probation and has to perform 500 hours of community service. His fancy tech job did a background review after the conviction and quietly let him go. The wedding was called off. Apparently his fiancée wasn't interested in marrying someone with that kind of legal and financial baggage. I took the restitution money and did something my parents would have loved. I established a scholarship fund in their names for students who have lost parents and need financial assistance for college. The first recipient is starting school this fall. As for Jake, he moved back to our hometown, works at Best Buy, lives with a roommate we don't speak. Maybe we never will again, and honestly, I'm okay with that. Some people have called me cruel, said family should forgive. But I didn't destroy Jake's life. He did that himself when he stole from a grieving teenager and never looked back. I just made sure there were finally consequences. I sleep better now than I have in 10 years. People keep asking if I feel guilty. I don't. I feel free. Update for those asking. Yes, I really did wait this long. I didn't know the full legal situation until I had the resources to hire professionals to investigate. As a traumatized 17-year-old, I didn't even know what questions to ask. And no, I'm not worried about him, getting revenge, or anything dramatic. The man can barely afford his car payment. I guess my parents were right about one thing. Good things come to those who work hard and don't give up. They just didn't mention that sometimes. Justice takes a decade. Edit, wow, I did not expect this response. Thank you all for the support. And to everyone saying I should have forgiven him, he had 10 years to apologize. He chose to ask me for more money instead. That tells you everything you need to know.